The Ancient Gods Part 2 was a DLC for Doom Eternal that stirred up a lot of controversy, and for a good reason. While I don't disagree with the notion that the game was too easy, I also don't feel that it was worth all the hate, and even I am guilty on some part to that. It does have a lot wrong with it, and I'm going to discuss part of that in this video, because sure, while it was a bit of a disappointment, and I feel it was a bit too hyped up in terms of difficulty, I do think it is still a pretty solid DLC, and it was very well made, apart from a few key aspects. The stone imps are pretty boring to fight, the cursed prowlers sucked when the DLC first came out, encounters are rather short, and the DLC itself overall lacked a bit of challenge. But I do feel the worst offender in all of this is the writing. There's no easy way to put it, but the writing in Tag 2 is not good. And don't take this as a knock against Hugo Martin, the writer. He did a phenomenal job with not only the main campaign, but also the Ancient Gods Part 1. And while yes, the Ancient Gods Part 2 is enjoyable at times, I really do think that it doesn't really have much going for it over the other two campaigns. Especially with the fact that they completely removed any future for the Dark Lord or that kind of story from the future of Doom, because he's dead. He is gone forever, which makes me very sad considering he could have been a very good character. The foundation was there. The foundation for the Dark Lord was brilliant. I'd also like to say quickly, just before we actually start talking about the Dark Lord, big thanks to my friend Venomous Frenchie. He helped make the thumbnail for this video. I think he did a really good job and I like it a lot. So thank you, Frenchie, for that. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, the Dark Lord. Just think, he's this big, bad, cool villain with an awesome suit and a phenomenal voice actor.
Stand and fight, Slayer. Honor your true god. Fight and show me your purpose.
As the father said in Tag 1, he was the fiercest among them, as only the strongest could rule the demons. That was such a good setup for this character, but the way they did him was so poor, and I think the fact they killed him, the main villain of Doom, the villain that we've been waiting for nearly 30 years to kill, killed in a DLC. He should have got a few games, or at the very least, a game dedicated to himself. I do think his lore is pretty cool, but, well, we're not going to find much out about that. Because of them killing him off so early, I very much doubt in the next game we're going to have codexes full of stuff about the Dark Lord, because he's dead, and it will be completely irrelevant. I feel that the main problem with the Ancient Gods Part 2 as a whole was the ambition. They had a good idea of what this DLC could have been, but I really don't think that they pulled it off right. I feel this DLC should have been something that was its own game. I feel that they was over-ambitious and didn't deliver on multiple fronts. And like I said earlier on in the video, I do like this DLC at some areas. And I don't want you to take this as me just blindly hating, because the reason that people like me criticize this DLC is because we like Doom. We want to see this franchise succeed. I feel that most of the disappointment coming from people about the Dark Lord was around his boss fight, and while I agree with them, yes, it's just basically just a big marauder, I don't think that's the core of the issue. The main problems with this was deadlines, the fact that they gave themselves an even shorter deadline because of the season pass. But going back to what I was talking about earlier, my main gripes is the fact that Davoth could have been one of, if not the best video game antagonists ever. He could have been a fully fleshed out, detailed character. I mean, the foundation is there. His backstory is a very sad backstory. But I don't think bringing him back is a good idea anymore. If they bring him back, then they better have a good way of doing it. They better not just pull Marvel and bring characters back for the sake of it. That completely nullifies any impact that the character's death had. So, that's what I think of the Dark Lord. In my opinion, a wasted opportunity for what could have been a brilliant character. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you really enjoyed, consider subscribing. I've got a merch store. I've got a Halloween deal on right now. It's 20% off of any product on the store until the end of October, along with some extra Halloween merchandise that I've made, so be sure to check that out. Maybe go follow the Twitter and check out the Discord server, but aside from that, most importantly, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.